What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again. All right, let's get into it. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another Blu-ray and DVD update. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This episode is coming out later than it should because I honestly didn't know that this month only had 30 days. I thought there was 31, but regardless, I still didn't even record an episode, or not even an episode, but I usually record these collection update videos like a week in advance before the end of the month. But yeah, I mean, I'm recording it on the last day when it should have already released by now, but you know what they say, better late than never. Before I get into it, thank you guys for the support on these last few podcast episodes. Especially, you might not sub, but like people that even comment, I appreciate that. And yeah, let's get straight to it. I got a good amount this month. First, we got Stitch the movie. And as you guys can see, this is not a real case for the movie itself. If you guys are fans of Lilo and Stitch, and I literally talked about this in my last podcast episode, but if you guys are fans of Lilo and Stitch, basically this movie served as a pilot to the Lilo and Stitch series that came out on Disney Channel back in, I think the show premiered in 2004 or 2003, something like that. It came out shortly after the original movie. But yeah, this movie basically served as, a start to the show. And honestly, like I said in my last podcast episode, that show was like one of my number one shows as a kid, during the summertime. Like every summer, I'd be watching Toon Disney and I'd be sitting there watching House and Mouse, Lilo and Stitch, American Dragon. And yeah, Lilo and Stitch, the series, is definitely one of my favorite, childhood shows. And if they ever were to release an actual Blu-ray or DVD box set, I would buy it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Disney has never done that, especially with how popular of a character Stitch is. Not even just because of the live action movie, but even before. I didn't even know, but he was rivaling Mickey in terms of Disney characters internationally. So you would think that they would make a box set for the show, for all the fans out there, but hopefully someday they will, and best believe when they do, I will buy it. But yeah, Stitch the movie, that's the first one. Second, we got the Star Wars Complete Saga. I think this one came out, when I looked it up, I think it said that it came out in 2011 or something like that. Basically, this was the complete saga of the Star Wars movies before the sequel trilogy came out. And that was the front and back cover. Basically, same thing here. It's almost like a book. But yeah, you get all 6 movies before the sequel trilogy. So you got the prequels. Obviously, you got episode 1 right there. Episode 2. Episode 3, which is the only prequel that I like. I do not like the first 2 prequels, but I do like this one. This one was a really good movie. You got A New Hope right there. Empire Strikes Back with Yoda, my boy. Return of the Jedi. And then not only that, but you also get a lot of bonus discs where they show video essays and commentaries, and one even had parodies um throughout the years of the Star Wars trilogy and stuff like that. So yeah, you get 3 bonus discs. You get a lot with this one package. And then like I said, you get a guide that tells you everything that's on each disc, and you got a picture of all the Star Wars characters up to that point in these movies. But yeah, if you guys are wondering where I got this, hold on. If you guys are wondering where I got this and where I got this, Mike's Game Shop. It says it right there, Mike's Game Shop. I remember I was looking specifically for this movie because I want to complete my Lilo and Stitch collection. I got the first two movies on Blu-ray, but now all I needed at that point was this and Leroy and Stitch. I still need Leroy and Stitch. But basically, I was looking up like where's Stitch the movie DVD, and I found the website Mike's Game Shop, and basically, just like how I tell people to find, if you're a physical media person, I always tell people to try to find like local shops that sells Blu-rays and DVDs for cheap, whether they're used or new. Like local shops definitely help out a lot. And I guess Mike's Game Shop is like a local shop in a different state, but he does offer online sales. So basically, I was able to get this for pretty cheap. I think this came out to only like $5. And then this set, which I looked on other websites, I seen people selling it for like 30 to 40. Before I even found this set, um I had like another box set on the Walmart website that had, or it was a box set for the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. And those box sets together was going to cost like 70, $80 together. But this, I only got this for like 25, $30. This really wasn't much. Like I was able to get two trilogies for almost half the price of what Walmart was trying to sell it to. So, yeah, if you guys don't have any local shops around me, or there's barely any local shops around you just like me, definitely look up Mike's Game Shop. He also shipped it pretty quickly, so that's another good thing about it. Um Next, we have Finding Nemo. This one I got from the Walmart website. And this was actually pretty cheap. I think this was like $6, $8 when I got it. So that was pretty cheap. I tell people all the time, Finding Nemo is, oh, there's two discs back here. I knew about the one, but what? Oh, okay, okay, okay. So Finding Nemo is like probably my favorite Disney movie of all time. Okay, if you want to be technical, favorite Disney Pixar movie. I know some people, when you say a Pixar movie as your favorite Disney movie, like people start to be like, "Oh, but that's not really a Disney movie." But Disney owns Pixar, so who cares? Finding Nemo is like my favorite Disney movie of all time, and this is the Blu-ray right here. Oh, the Blu-ray right here with Marlin and Nemo on it. And then behind it was the DVD copy. And this is just like a bonus disc with like bonus features and stuff on it. I only really care about Blu-ray, so that's why I forgot that there was even a DVD behind the Blu-ray. I really don't ever use my DVDs unless like if it comes in a Blu-ray pack, then I really don't care about the DVDs. Only time I really care about DVDs is if the movie never got put on Blu-ray or anything like that, and I have to buy it on a DVD, just like Stitch the movie. But yeah, Finding Nemo. Next, we got a lot of Pixar today, but before I continue, I just want to say that I did find me a local shop. That was one thing I kept saying all the time: find a local shop, find a local shop. That's one of the things that I tried to do. And I feel like that's one of the best things to do if you're a physical media collector. Try to find like local shops that sells DVDs and Blu-rays for cheap. And I was saying for the longest I couldn't find one. So I kept looking up, like, where is local shops at around me? Where is some local shops? And I actually found one that was really close to me, like under 10 minutes away from me. And it is a website, but it's a store called Tunes. Basically, I first seen it when last month I was going to a mystery movie at the AMC in Voorhees. And you in that same plaza, like right across from the movie theater, is Tunes. So I was looking it up, and I'm like, okay, what's Tunes? Because I'm also trying to get into vinyl collecting at some point. So I'm like, what's Tunes? I looked it up, and it's a vinyl store. It mostly has music in it, but they have a big selection of movies. And these next four films, I got these from Tunes. So first, we got Cars, keeping up with the Pixar movies. Cars was another one of those Pixar movies that I loved growing up. I still remember vividly, like vividly, I still remember the day I went to go see it. I didn't even know I was gonna see it until the day of. It was like whatever year this movie came out. I remember that one summer. Um, it was me, my dad, my brother, and my mom. And I don't know if my mom like planned it in advance or anything like that, but I just remember at one point in the day, my mom was just like, Tevin, we're gonna take you to see Cars, and like everybody came. I wasn't expecting my brother and my dad to come, but like everybody came to see it, and we all wound up enjoying it. Um, and I told y'all all the time, if I'm taken to see a movie, I got to see a movie right afterwards. But funny enough, I wasn't forced to go see the next movie in theaters. My mom took me home and I watched the movie with the rest of the family. So after we got home from seeing Cars, my mom bought the DVD for Medea's Family Reunion, which, Mom, you'll be happy to hear, but this is actually one of the few Tyler Perry movies that I actually liked, Medea's Family Reunion. We all wound up watching that. So whether it's at home or in the theater, when I went to go see a movie, I had to go see something else right afterwards. So yeah, Cars. I don't know. Did I show the DVD? Yeah, I did. Um, I know this one isn't loved as much, especially Cars 2, even though I agree with Cars 2. I know the original Cars, people somewhat look back fondly on it, but like it's not like upper echelon Pixar like Finding Nemo or Incredibles are. But for me, I loved this movie. This was definitely in Pixar's heyday, and honestly, I like this movie. Maybe an unpopular, actually, definitely an unpopular opinion. I like this better than Ratatouille, but that's a conversation for a different day. The next movie I got from Tunes is Black Panther, and yeah, of course, I had to get this movie. The Black Panther movies are like some of my favorite films in the MCU. Chadwick Boseman, man, R.I.P. He did an amazing job in this movie. Michael B. Jordan, of course, did an amazing job. Lupita Nyong'o, pretty much everybody's done an amazing job. Ryan Coogler directed this movie, which I know he's got a lot of love, going on right now because of Sinners. But before Sinners, this was the main movie that everybody was on that he directed. Um, and like I said, Tunes is like, a store where like you get a lot of used copies. They do sell newer copy stuff, but like you're gonna find a lot of used copies in there. So you get old promotions for like Marvel movies. The Blu-ray is pretty blank, just a regular Blu-ray disc. Um but yeah, now I got lucky because, like I said, this is a used copy. This was not new, but I got lucky because there was actually a digital code still in there. And I was thinking, well, this is used, so probably somebody already used it. But I was like, screw it, I'm going to try. So I used the Movies Anywhere app to scan the code, and it wound up working. Maybe the person that owned this copy before me didn't like use it, but yeah, it wound up working. So now I actually have a digital copy and I have this when I wasn't expecting to have one. So yeah, that's crazy. Next, if you guys remember my last video, I said there was a movie from Bernie Mac called Guess Who that I could not find the DVD at my parents' house, but I knew they had it at some point. I just couldn't find the DVD. Well, it was really cheap. I think at Tunes it was only like $2 or $3. Guess Who? Of course, I love this movie a lot. This is like one of my favorite romantic comedies and probably my favorite movie from Bernie Mac thus far. I haven't seen all his movies, but this is probably one of my favorites thus far. Um, it's somewhat a remake of like the old movie Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which I never seen that movie, but they kind of flicked it for this version. I know the old movie had like a white girlfriend bring her black boyfriend home, which in this movie it's actually a black girl bringing her white boyfriend home, and the white boyfriend being played by Ashton Kutcher, of course. Um, Old DVD stuff showing promos for other movies, which I pretty much seen. Actually, no, I only seen half these movies. 51st Dates, I already got that on DVD. 13 Going on 30, that was like one of my ex's favorite movies, so I watched that with her. Guess Who? I'm sitting here saying guess who like it's on the advertisement, but yeah, that's the DVD right there. Um, if you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out. It's one of the best romantic comedies in my opinion, and RIP to Bernie Mac, definitely a legend. Um, yeah, like I said, definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. And then this is the last one that I got from Tunes, and that is the original Iron Man movie. Um, this was supposed to come with a digital code, but this one didn't. Yeah, just a basic disc and stuff like that. Not really much in there, just because it is a used copy. This movie set off so much set off so much, bruh. The MCU that we got today is all because of this film right here. Robert Downey Jr. did his thing. John Favreau, who directed this movie, who plays Happy in the new Spider-Man trilogy, he definitely deserves his flowers. Like basically this movie set off everything that we love in terms of Marvel today. So like all my and some of Marvel movies are some of my favorite films of all time. And basically I wouldn't have some of those films if it wasn't for this. So everybody that's attached to this movie, thank you. If anybody just happens to be watching this video, you don't even have to be the main people like Robert Downey Jr. or none of that. If you were just part of the crew, if you were just part of the set, thank you for making this movie and making history and, everything that you've done afterwards. But this last movie, I am so glad that I got this. Soon as the pre-orders went up, your boy went to go pre-order it, and that is Anora, my favorite film of last year, starring Mikey Madison, the winner for the Oscars, which usually I don't like the Oscars, but I guess you could say I'm a little biased. This movie was my favorite movie of last year. It was amazing. And when Criterion announced that they were making the physical copy version of the movie, I knew I had to get it because Criterion always goes all out. But even if they don't go all out, just having this movie on physical media, I just needed it. Like I said, this was my favorite movie of last year. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time now. And Mikey Madison, Sean Baker. This movie also put me on to Sean Baker. Like I always, of course, me being a film person, my friends always talked about the Florida Project and like Sean Baker's other films, but this was the movie that did it for me. And I did go back to watch the Florida Project, but I like this movie more personally because I feel like there's more of a story. But don't get me wrong, Florida Project is still amazing. It's just I just personally like this one more. But I'm yapping, but yeah, Anora, I love this movie so much. I love it so much. Hold on, let me take this out first. Basically, this is what's the inside, the picture of Nora and the goons looking for Ivan. If you've seen the movie, then you know what's going on here. Um, and then these are the discs. I had to get the 4K copy now that I got two 4K players. I had to get the 4K copy. This is the 4K. This is the Blu-ray, and then this one is like bonus features, which is damn near feature length. I watched some of the stuff. The second Blu-ray has like bonus features that are almost feature length. They got vlogs of them filming. They got multiple interviews from Sean Baker and Mikey Madison. Um, they just got a lot of content for the second one. So this box set came to like around $40, I think, almost 50 since it's the 4K version. And I'd say it's very much worth it. If the Criterion collection, they're always putting out things that's very worth it for film people. This is like a booklet with like different interviews and reviews and stuff like that. I don't even know if I can I don't even know if I can show some of this because the movie is about a stripper, so they don't really hide how sexual the movie can get. I don't even know how much of this I can really show, but y'all know, little booklet to go along with the movie. Um, I would say this is very much worth it, especially if you're a fan of Anora, like I am. Like if you love this movie, very much worth it to get the Criterion version, especially since even with the movies, even with the disc with the movie on it, you do get multiple commentaries. So far, I only watched the commentary with Sean Baker and Mikey Madison, but I do eventually need to watch the I do eventually need to watch the commentary with Sean Baker and like the crew behind the movie. So yeah, like I said, Anora, one of my favorite films of all time. Very quick addition to that list, but yeah, Anora is such an amazing movie. I know that it somewhat gets backlash because some people feel like it's over sexual and like some people, and funny enough, there's like a whole conversation going on about whether this movie is a good representation for strippers. And it's funny because most strippers that I've seen talked about this movie say that this movie is very accurate and good representation. But people that aren't strippers a lot of times are saying that this isn't good representation. So I guess watch the movie and see how you feel about it. I didn't go in looking for a stripper story. I went in looking for the story that was advertised, basically a stripper getting married to a rich guy and things hit the fan. So that's what I was going for. I wasn't going for a representation. Whether they did represent it well or not, hopefully they did a good job on that. I don't know, but just know this movie is amazing. um and yeah, that's all the films for this month. I know I know I was kind of rambling, but that's what y'all kind of expect from me at this point. So yeah, thumbnail purposes. And yeah, with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. Catch y'all on the next one. And next week's episode of the podcast will be a Q&A episode. Basically, I want to answer all y'all questions. If you guys got any questions about movies, music, dating, life, just anything. That's the thing. I just want to do a Q&A episode for the podcast. Just literally ask me anything, even if it has to do with the podcast. Just ask me. And yeah, now, with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out.